welcome to this week's Open Boat. We are on the beach, ready to catch some fish, and I have a very special guest with me today, guys. Jesse, who makes the Stridebaits right there, and he's gonna be showcasing why they just are ultimate fish catchers. He's gonna give us a little tutorial on how to work them in the surf, and hopefully we'll get on some fish. Let's see how it goes, right?
That's the plan. This is my 10-inch, which is 6 ounce, which is a pretty big lure for the surf, but they tend to get bit, and if the fish are close, they work real well. And a lot of what you can do in the surf with the spinner rods is literally just reel them in slow, give them a little pause. They don't really require a lot to make them swim and work, and then you can fish them a lot of other ways too. But a lot of what you can do is, if the fish comes up and boils on it, you can do different things to make them eat and make the fish react. You can fish them quick, slow them down. Another thing to pay attention to when you're fishing with a surf rod is when you're far out, you can keep your rod tip up, but a lot of times when you're close, you got to keep your rod tip down lower in the water, or else the lure kind of wants to come up out. So often when the fish are close, I will keep the rod up under my arm versus like between my legs and keeping it high. And you know, when you keep your rod down, it just keeps the lure in the water, keeps it going. And a lot of the action that I'm doing is through the reel versus the tip. Very few times I ever really use a lot of tip action or like big aggressive maneuvers to make it do things. Usually if I want to make it do a lot of different actions, I'll do more like, I'll just kind of work it with the rod, with the reel. And it's a little hard with spinning reels, it's just kind of the nature of it. You can fish them a little better with conventional, but in general in the surf, the spinning rod's just a better choice. So a lot of the ways to fish it, you can really fish it in a lot of different places. Like the surf is definitely a place that's been working really well. Been fishing a lot of inlets where we have like rips, and at nighttime, a lot of what we're doing there is literally just throwing it out and letting it swing, and you can feel it kicking. You can feel the rod tip just kind of thumping, you know it's moving. You can get an idea of the cadence it's doing. And they definitely will eat it slow. You don't have to fish it fast, but you can fish these a little quicker, you know? So. But definitely that slow roll is all you really need to do a lot of times. But I definitely like to do the pauses. That definitely would trigger them to bite. And then sometimes I do like a burn and pause. And then sometimes just throwing it out there and just kind of twitching it in front of them. It just kind of makes them eat. Another thing is to tackle the fish. Depending on what size lure you're fishing, for the most part, a lot of the gear that like a normal 1 to 4 ounce or 2 to 6 ounce spinning rod can handle these baits. This bait here is the 10-inch, which is 6 ounce, so you need a little heavier rod if you want to fish something like this. So this is a 10-foot one-piece magic tail. It's rated 3 to 6. And this you can get by throwing the 10-inch. And a lot of times on the cast, you're not really like trying to thump it like casting a pencil popper. It's more like a sling or a lighter cast, you know, almost like a lob. It's just how the nature is when you're throwing a heavier bait like this. But for the most part, you know, a 9-10 foot rod in the surf or bigger is kind of the way to go, and it just works well. It's not a distance lure, so you're not going to cast over the bar like a pencil popper, but you know, what they do is when the fish are near, they tend to get bites when other things don't. And then also, so we're fishing the surf today, but a lot of what I do and what a lot of guys are doing is fishing these on the boat. Like out front here, we got Big Bunker. It's really the great lure. I like some of the bigger stuff when we're doing that. And it just seems that, so you can throw it out, you just kind of let it do its thing, wander around, fish slowly, and they tend to be able to draw up the bites, you know, bring fish up from deeper water, just being a big lure with a slow presentation. That seems to work well, and I fish it a lot in the backwaters too. I'll fish even a 10-inch bait. I was fishing this week, fishing in 2 foot of water, on the sod banks down my way, and it's still, 30-inch fish has no problem coming up and eating something like this. So it's really been neat to see how it kind of excels in a lot of different situations.